Now then, so we're back with the Freedom Lifestyle podcast, and it's a bit of a special day for all of us here today. Like me and obviously Jacob, we're on like pretty much every single podcast. Sometimes Jacob disappears and leaves me to it, but we're a duo today, and we have rented out a fat mansion in Essex for the whole day. And we also, it's not just me and Jacob that's chipped into this gaff, so quite a lot of people's chipped into making this a crazy day. Like, we're literally turning this into a movie, but we got our man George with us today. He's only 19 years old and he's chipped in for this mansion with us today because, to give a bit of context to the listeners, he's launching his OnlyFans Agency today. So on this podcast, we're going to go deep into how to blow up on social media, because my man George, 19, has got over 300,000 followers on TikTok already, and he's about to blow up an OnlyFans agency, and he's absolutely smashing the game. So I'm going to flip it straight over to you, George. Before we talk about OnlyFans, like, flip back to like the start of like your entrepreneurial journey. Like, when did you start, and like obviously fast forward to where you are now?
Yeah, of course.
Hey George, before we start, lad,
Let's all do a shot in. Let's
all do a shot.
You know, I'm not into alcohol anymore, man. I'm getting peer pressured, and that's not like me.
Peer pressured, lad.
Cheers,
Come on,
boys. Cheers, boys.
Right, let's have it. Hang it.
Jacob's being a menace today.
Good cop, bad cop, me and you, Callum. George, lad.
It's alright, I got a chaser. Yeah, so basically, obviously before I've done all the OnlyFans stuff, going back to kind of like day zero really, I've always kind of been interested in like, you know, I've never really gone down the route of like, you know, getting a job, getting paid hourly and stuff like that. I've always tried to like make my own money in my own ways. So, you know, like I've always done like a few different things. Like originally when I'd say my childhood goal was to like become a music producer. That's what I was, you know, trying to be at the time. But you know, things have drifted on from that, and I kind of saw that social media is a really good marketing tool for kind of any industry at all. Like it's crazy how much you can do just from social media. So then that was when my TikTok was born. I kind of did it as a bit of a joke in high school with some of my mates and stuff like that. And then I started getting, I think in the first couple of weeks, I was starting to do like 400,000 views per video, which was, it was mad. And the thing is, back then with TikTok, it was so easy to get views and stuff. But still, 400,000 people was mad, like to me at the time. Like,
and you were at school?
Yeah, bro. I was in like year 10 in school. So.
What were like the videos that you're doing? Like, what was the type of content?
Bro, TikTok's changed so much. Like, I think at the time it was like. Loads of like just comedy videos and sketches and stuff with like mates from school and stuff like that. But we never took it really like too seriously. So we kind of took it from there. And then obviously with TikTok, it's such a fast-paced app. I've just changed the content as of when I need to. But yeah, no, as I said, I started on TikTok. You know, started posting all of these videos with my mates, and I thought, you know what, if I can do it with my mates, I might as well do it on my own. You know, I was leaving school and stuff like that, so I was like, right, I need to actually, you know, set it in now. I need to start taking this seriously. So I obviously still wanted to be a music producer at this point, so I went to college for, I think it was 4.5 weeks to do a music production course. But because I was already producing music, I kind of found it a little bit like, I don't know, it was just a little bit of a waste of time for me. Like, I already knew what I was doing, and I was being taught things twice that I'd already taught myself like years ago. So anyway, I sacked off college 4.5 weeks in, dropped out, and then I basically started my actual journey on TikTok, where I started posting. You know, I started getting ads in and stuff like that. Like it was quite a sweet crossover, to be fair, because there wasn't like a gap in the middle where I was like, I'm gonna go for it. It was when I was in college was when I started blowing up, and I was getting stuff sent across to me like, oh, you can do this TikTok video for $1,000, and I'd be like, oh my god, like people want to pay. To be fair, it probably wasn't $1,000 at the time. It was probably like £500, but still at the time, like I was like, oh my god, like I can make some serious money from it. So yeah, basically kind of went from there. You know, then started, you know, earning more and more money as it went on, and started posting different content and stuff like that. I got invited to some like creator house in London, and started posting, you know, started connecting in the industry with new creators and stuff, and started doing collabs. And yeah, kind of just took it from there, and you know, yeah, I haven't looked back since, and just kind of been growing my TikTok from then. And obviously in the last like 4 months, I've done like a few different agencies over the years. I had like an events company as well in there. I've done like a few different events and stuff before, so I know what I'm doing with events. This was when I was like 17, 18. And then I kind of, as I said, I've been for the last year, I've been doing really well on social, so I've just kind of been living off that. But I think now it's over the last 4 months, it's definitely time to put an actual business plan in place, because at the end of the day, social media doesn't last forever. It has a kind of expiry date for a lot of people. You can't keep it going for years and years and years and years. So basically I've just thought about my business plan, got everything sorted. Yeah, basically now we're doing really well. I mean, within the first month's always the hardest with OnlyFans agencies and stuff, because obviously you have to get all the models in, you have to get the back end sorted. That's the main thing. Like, you have to get people to run these accounts for them, stuff like that. It's a lot of work to do. So the first month was a little bit slow, but the second month we started, getting a good amount of money in. We got a few big creators, and then from there it's just been zooming. It's been doing really well, and then that kind of brings me up to where I am today.
Well, yeah, mate, you're 19 years old. That is a mad story, man. So, where do you see? Obviously, you've just launched OnlyFans, which is a mad business model in itself.
Yeah, it's crazy.
It's fucking great. I love it. And we all do, mate. Fucking make money looking at fit birds. But anyways. Where do you see like the next year? So let's say we sit here right now, right? We're doing another podcast. A year from now, in like Dubai, something, a naughty fucking penthouse suite or whatever, and we're doing another podcast. And I'm like, share your story of what's happened over the last year. What does the next year look like for you, George?
2023, I've got very, very, very big plans. Like, I don't want to just like do what I did last year, because there was a lot of like me lazing about and just kind of doing a video here and there and making some decent money off socials. But this year I'm putting a full graft in. I mean, this time next year, I want to have at least 2 of the top 10 creators in the UK. I want to definitely explore Europe and to be fair, worldwide in general. I definitely want to explore that. Yeah, especially for like the OnlyFans. The thing is with the OnlyFans industry, it's only really been explored in the UK like a lot, but US and Europe and other places, it's just a bit untouched. So I really see a good market for that. That's kind of my goal in the year. But at the end of the day, like, I want to be like, right now I'm comfortable on money. Do you know what I mean? But next year I want to be like, I just want to be able to go to the club and like splash like 10k bottle show, like it's nothing. Fuck you money. Exactly. But I'm a big believer in setting like short-term goals. I don't want to think too far in the future. I think if you set small goals and work your way to it, you're going to be more likely to get there, rather than if you just set one goal and then you get muddled up with it. Do you know what I mean? So
1000%. I think it's good, like you've got that long-term vision, but I think sometimes it's good. It's like, let's just tackle the thing in front of us. Like, how can I make money while I travel abroad? How can I get a better place to live in? How can I fucking just get some decent club or whatever? You hit that goal, then it's like, okay, now I'm at this level and increase my value as a man. What's the game plan after that? What's the game plan after that? It's hit the next milestone, and eventually you're like, oh fucking hell, I've come all this way, and I am on, I'm in this fuck you kind of place in my life.
Exactly. So, exactly.
In terms of as well, like, in terms of obviously, like, say if someone's listening to this podcast right here, right now, and they want to start an OnlyFans agency, or they want to start any agency, whether that's like a marketing agency, like, what is like your strongest piece of advice that you could give someone listening to this now, so that they can go into it and absolutely smash it?
I think the best piece of advice I could give is, before you work on the image of your brand, you get the back end stuff sorted first. That is so crucial, and that's what I kind of fucked up on when in the first month, to be fair. Like, I was so focused on, because I've done social media, I was so focused on getting the socials looking sick and getting a sick logo, but that is not what is important. Like, that's where I messed up, and you learn from your mistakes, but at the end of the day, I'm where I am today. But definitely, I mean, from back end, what I mean by that is, getting people to run the OnlyFans accounts for you, any admin. I've got Rachel here, who's my PA, and she does all my admin for me. You need to make sure you've got a good a good set of people around you to also support you with your business. I feel like you definitely need to have people there. It's very, very hard to do something by yourself, and just kind of like go out and network with people as well. Like, I think that's the best thing to do. Like, so many of my contacts that have helped me out with my business have kind of come from me just being out and about at events and various things like that. And I think that is absolutely crucial, because at the end of the day, it's not what you know, it's who you know.
Oh, mate, we say that all the time. And
network equals your network.
Network is everything. And you also touched on 2 serious value points there. Number 1 is you've already got a PA. Like, you're a 19-year-old and you got a PA because you get it. You get how much your time's worth. Like, what I like to say is, if you want to create a successful business, then Here's Jacob. Look at it. Jacob's a menace tonight. Jacob's a menace tonight.
You put me in a mansion with a load of fit birds.
If you want to create a successful business, then say if you've got goals to be, to make £1 million business or a multi-million or even billion, like I don't know how big you think, but why are you doing £10 tasks? Like you want to be getting rid of any task that, number one, you can delegate. And then also number two, that you're not, you don't specialise with it.
Yeah,
if you don't specialise with admin, then find someone who specialises with admin. You're creating opportunities for people, and then you're also creating more time for yourself. And in business, time is everything. And then
of course.
Your number 2 point was the networking. And this is the problem with a lot of lads in their 20s, and they stay in their hometown forever. Like to you, George, how important is it to branch out from your hometown? Like you spend a lot of time in Dubai. Like how important is that to you, George?
It's crucial, boys, to be fair. Like as I said, I think when you stay in your hometown, you get so caught up with the town drama and all of that kind of stuff. Like it's very, very small-minded, I feel like. And I don't mean that in a bad way. Like obviously, if you're happy with that and you're happy in life, then by all means, stick it. But for me personally, if you want to do well in life, the first thing you need to be thinking when you're turning 17, 18 is find a way to get out. Even if it's, you're going to uni or you're doing something else, but find a way to get out of your hometown, because you will stay in that small mindset like for the rest of your life if you don't, get out. Because I feel like people just kind of they feel comfortable. You need to, go and try things and go and experience things. Otherwise, you're not. There's Cal. Yeah, you're not going to get anywhere. So I definitely think it's very, very crucial to kind of get out your hometown. Definitely.
Mate, it's bang on that, and I actually. Just to add to that as well, I was stoned the other day.
Me too.
And I had this thought come to me, and I was like, when you stay in your hometown, you're doing your thing, you're in your normal routine, you're going to your job and stuff, whatever. You don't, you see your mates, but you don't really there's no reason to push yourself to go out and meet new people. But when you're bopping around, you plonk yourself in a brand new location, you may be on your own, maybe with a couple of you, whatever. You're in a brand new environment where it's you have no choice but to go out and meet new people, and naturally you'll go to new places, see new things, and you'll network, and you'll meet new people, and the more that you bop around, the more that'll happen.
Oh, yeah.
And you build and build and build on your network. Like most of my network has actually come from out of my hometown. Is when I've been bopping around.
Yeah,
so
same as me.
Network equals your net worth, doesn't it?
Yeah.
Bang on.
100%. And
God, so distracted in this podcast.
Jacob's an absolute nightmare. I don't think this life's ready for you, Jacob.
I don't think it's ready for me.
Oh, God. I think you're going to be an absolute menace. In terms of obviously, you've created a lot for yourself at 19 years old. Have you invested in yourself in terms of education, or have you invested more time into learning skills? Talk more about how you've been able to create such a success at such a young age.
To be fair, as I said, it's always been my interest. Business has always been one of my top priorities and interests in my life. But I feel I haven't, in terms of money, in terms of paying for education, I haven't really put a lot of money in. I think there's a lot of information online now where you can kind of get for free. There's YouTube. YouTube has probably been my biggest teacher, if you like. Everything that I've ever learned really has come from YouTube videos and tutorials and stuff like this, and just kind of searching the web for stuff. And at the end of the day, you try things that you see online. If it doesn't work, you just go to the next video and try the next thing. I definitely think that, I don't think you need to invest a lot in terms of your education to be able to get somewhere in life. I feel like you definitely just need to look in the right places, and I feel like it is out there for little to nothing. So,
the Freedom Lifestyle podcast.
Yeah, exactly.
Do you know what I mean?
And then the membership area.
which is pennies.
Yeah. Mate, that's an absolute belter. So, okay. Here's a question for you.
Lewis McGarry's gassing.
He is. So here's a question for you then. So, normally this is something we ask at the end of the podcast, but I'm actually intrigued at the answer. So I'm going to ask you now. What does your freedom lifestyle look like to you?
My freedom lifestyle? What, as in what?
It's just life.
What does it mean to you?
Yeah, what does it mean to you? Yeah.
To be fair, as I said, I just want to get to that fuck you money. Like, that is a freedom lifestyle for me. Like, do you know what I mean? Like, as I said, if I want to go do something right now, I can probably 9 times out of 10 afford to do it. But I want to do it like without even thinking about it and being like, oh yeah, how much is that going to take away? Oh yeah, we'll have this left. I don't want to think about that. Yeah. I just want to go out and have the kind of money where I don't have to look at price tags. Do you know what I mean? Just look at it, buy it, do whatever you want, live my best life. And yeah, that's pretty much what it means to me.
Freedom, man.
Yeah,
love
exactly.
it, love it. So not stressing about money.
Yeah, not stressing.
Being able to do what you want, having that fuck you money.
Yeah.
In terms of obviously, like, you've blown up on TikTok, and I know you got in early, so you obviously you mentioned it yourself. You got a bit of an advantage because it's changed a lot now.
Yeah.
If like a lot of our listeners that want to blow up on TikTok now, like from what you've seen in terms of like trends and stuff, like what's your number one piece of advice you could give someone if they want to blow up TikTok?
Yeah, that's a good question. I think there's a lot of trends you can do and stuff like that, but I don't think it's necessarily about the trends. I think with TikTok nowadays, I think it is just about consistency. If you're posting to be fair, like when I was grinding TikTok, I was posting 3-4 times a day. I would sit down for like 24 hours and just film hundreds of TikToks, so I had stuff to post over the coming weeks. And the best thing to do is to just set alarms and just post as much as you can on TikTok, because consistency will get you to where you need to be. It is a lot harder than it used to be to blow on TikTok, but if you have the graft and you're grafting 10 times harder than everyone else and you're posting 3, 4, 5 times a day, you will blow. There is no doubt about it at all. If you're posting that many times a day, then you will blow. And as I said, a lot of people are like, oh, I'm trying TikTok, but it's not really working out. It's not as easy as it used to be. Yes, I get it to a certain extent, but at the same time, they're not doing the right things. They won't be, you also have to spend a lot of time on TikTok and watch other people's content to kind of, make your own and know what's doing well. But at the same time, as I said, going back to my point before, you have to be consistent, and that will be what they're getting wrong, is their consistency.
That's powerful, and consistency is everything. And me and Jacob talk a lot about the compound effect. And you might be consistent for a month or 2 months, and you'd be like, "Oh, I'm not getting the results now." But if you're consistent continuously, the actions you're taking today, you're gonna reap the rewards in the next 90 days or the next 6 months. But having that consistent action, let the compound effect work its magic and stay focused.
Mate, so right. So I'm intrigued about this OnlyFans thing, right?
Yeah.
Of course you are.
Right. So you're basically getting paid to chat and look at fit naked birds.
Pretty much.
Mate, what a business plan. Any lad in your 20s listen to this. What a perfect vehicle.
Jacob's going to sack off the freedom lifestyle.
Freedom lifestyle. I'm only joking. Yeah, mate, that's a belter then. So, if you could give, so obviously you've got a lot going on, mate. You've got an entrepreneurial head on you right now. If you could give any piece of advice right now to a lad in his 20s listening to this, he wants to start a business, or he just wants a freedom lifestyle, basically, that what's like the one key piece of advice that you give him right now?
As I said, I think, like it is with everything, not just TikTok, I'm going to go back to the point again about consistency, because consistency will get you to where you need to be. 100%. If you have the graft and you put in the graft, you'll definitely get where you need to be. But also, you've got to remember, you've got to invest time and also money in certain cases. I think, if you have to go out and you have to get, a £10 an hour job or a £9 an hour job to, get a little bit of money behind you first to start a business, I think that's really crucial as well. I think a lot of lads nowadays are like, oh no, I don't want to do a 9 to 5, I just want to go straight into a business. And in that sense, I've been lucky. I think a lot of lads, struggle with the mental health side of it, and I don't want to be seen as like broke or anything like that. But I genuinely think if you could do it on the sly, you can go get a 9 to 5 and just quickly, make a few grand in a few months, put that behind you, and then put it towards, what you want to do. As I said, you have to have money, or you have to invest money to make money in a lot of cases. Yeah. So that's probably another bit of advice. Like, don't be afraid of, going out and getting that job, even if it is just for a few months to, because it's easy money at the end of the day. You have to put a little bit of a graft in, obviously I get, but at the same time, you can just, build up a little bit of money behind you if you don't have any, and then take it from there.
Love that, I love that. And you mentioned as well, you mentioned a bit about mental health. Obviously, you're in the OnlyFans industry, and like, obviously, there's a lot of stigma about OnlyFans on the social media and stuff like that. Do you find, obviously, do you have to deal with help people through like mental health, like some of your clients as well?
It's an interesting point. The thing that I don't find at all in OnlyFans, obviously there's a huge stigma around it and I completely get that, but I have never ever had a model, or anyone I've spoken to has never had a model that has complained or said, oh, this is really like affecting my mental health. Because the money is so ridiculous in OnlyFans, I think when the girls get to a certain point when they're making 10, 12, 13K a month, basically just from posting a few photos or sending me over some videos, content, whatever, and we do it all for them, I think that it just like, it doesn't really affect them because they see how much money they're making. They have that freedom lifestyle, and they can go out and do what they want. So in terms of mental health, I actually haven't had to deal with anything. Do you know what I mean? Like, because it's giving them the freedom. Do you know what I mean?
Don't you think it's mad that like some girls are getting like millionaires from posting pictures of their feet?
Yeah, it is crazy. It is crazy. Yeah.
Thought me, yeah. To see my feet.
Yeah, you would not pay for Jacob's feet. Like George, you haven't found a client with Jacob for OnlyFans.
I mean, I've got a lot of contacts, so I'll let you know, bro.
Well, on that note, what about our podcast?
Before we like wrap this podcast up, then George, like where can people find you on social media? Obviously, well, you've got over 300k on TikTok. Like, what's your TikTok handle? Like, we'll get connecting with him because he's 19 years old and he is living a different life to what many 19-year-olds and to what many people ever live.
So my TikTok is @Phillipsy, just FLIPSY. My Instagram is Phillipsy, but it's FLIPSSYY because I still can't get that username yet. I'm really annoyed about that.
You have to buy it.
Yeah, I'm gonna have to do something. And then obviously my agency is Apex the Agency, @Apex the Agency with 2 X's on the Apex.
We'll bang it all in the description as well.
Yeah, that's perfect. That's perfect. But that's pretty much it.
So George, I've actually got a question for you. Like, obviously, a lot of listeners that obviously know about OnlyFans, but like, how does actually like running an OnlyFans agency actually work?
So there's a few different elements. So obviously we have the social media side and the marketing side, but I'm going to cover the back end first because I feel like that's the crucial part. So obviously with an OnlyFans agency, the whole idea of it is basically all that the model has to do is she has to upload content to one of our folders and then we do everything from there. So it's literally just taking a few photos, videos like every week and uploading them, and that's it for them. With us, what we do is we have people that will run their account for them. So all of the people that subscribe and message them will be replied by someone else that's obviously not her, but obviously the people that message them won't know any different. Until now. But yeah, exactly. So that's how it works. Obviously they will speak to them, get them to pay for things, etc., etc. That's kind of the back end side of it. That's the trickiest part to get because you have to get people that are actually experienced in speaking to people and being able to actually sell content to people. But then after that it's kind of just like the marketing side. So we basically give all of our models content plans. So we basically send them TikToks of previous models that we've either managed or people that are on currently, and we send them content videos. So we send them TikToks, Twitter posts, Instagrams, and basically we give them the ideas and they go away and basically do the content because it's pretty easy. And then kind of from there, we have a few different methods of getting subs and stuff. We use Twitter, Reddit. There's so many different things we can use. Even Tinder. Tinder's a good one. We sign the girls up on Tinder profiles, and the guys obviously want to swipe because they want to fuck.
People like Jacob.
Exactly.
Tinder king.
And then they just send the OnlyFans link, and it goes from there. And it is we can get a serious amount of subscribers in just from doing those things. It's very, very simple. The whole business model is very simple, but you kind of have to know the right people and do the right things to get it to any kind of good size. So
love it.
Freedom lifestyle, I've got something to say to you boys. I've already been on this podcast once, and you can see me on the camera right now. Surprise appearance. This boy is George Phillips. He is a boy's boy. And I'll tell you this now, because I'll tell you something for a fact. He works very fucking hard. This boy has run up 6 figures as a teenager. Like, listen to me when I say that, he's run up 6 figures as a teenager. People go to university, right? People go to university and they work 6 years to come out on a 6-figure job. Listen to me when I say this boy has run up 6 figures as a teenager. If that is not enough to make you realise that you are stuck in the system, I tell you now, I know they've done a solid podcast with this boy right here, but he is my fucking brother for life. It's very rare that you find people who have loyalties to you and will stick by your side. But I just wanted to come on here interrupt the podcast and say right now, yeah, this boy here is a solid boy and watch out for his name. Phillips,
Come on, G.
Come on, bro. Glass.